How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massive Beer Reviews. Yeah, back with a little bit of a Forest City up in this piece in the form of their Brewellen Park. This is a India Pale Ale brewed with Gewürztraminer, grape juice, and double dry hopped with Nelson Sauvin hops. Say what, son? I actually didn't know that until I read it right now. I was just like, I looked at it quick when my buddy Keith gave this to me, and I was like, oh, it's an IPA. Awesome. That kind of has me hot and bothered, because one of my favorite beers of all time, at least in the hazy realms, is dialed in with Gewürztraminer juice and Nelson Sauvin from Trillium. Conversely, one of the more disappointing beers I've had is that same beer several years later, so take that for what it's worth. That's dark. Looks like there's a decent amount of oxidation going on in this sucker. We'll see what's what. Label-wise, it's pretty cool. I dig it. I like the graphical design on it, stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, that's... I could try to explain it away as being a juice thing or something like that, but it just looks like a super oxidized hazy. Hopefully that be not the case. Let's actually just dive into the nose. Yeah, it's oxidized. It has a nice, big, sharp greeniness with a little bit of those slightly grapey kind of Nelson Sauvin hops in there that are actually probably being propped up by that Gewürztraminer juice. But there's a decent amount of oxidation in there. Yeah, a little bit of kind of a spicy, tannic tea-like cardboardiness that smells like just an aged hop on top of an oxidized beer. Is what it is. Let's dive in. Cheers. No date. Doesn't taste all that bad, honestly. I thought it was going to be way more cardboardy, wet paper on the taste. While it's leaning in that direction, it's not overt. It's not crazy. I do get a nice, soft, slightly citrus grapey kind of fruitiness off the hop still, so that's nice to get that. The mouthfeel is still relatively there. This is probably just started turning, started being aggressively oxidized. That's my kind of assumption on this one. And that's pretty much it. I mean, as far as the beer looks, it drinks infinitely better than it looks. But those negatives are still there. That oxygen is there. It has oxidized to the point where it has fallen off quite a bit from what it originally was. And it kind of has me super bummed because this tasting as good as it does in the state it is kind of a testament to it probably being pretty fucking good when it wasn't oxidized. So that in and of itself is a bummer. So yeah, there's really not much else to talk about. I mean, it's a citrus and that grapey Nelson Sauvin with that Gewürztraminer juice leaning hazy IPA with a decent amount of oxidation. Still not overtly negative. The nose is probably a little bit more aggressive in an oxidation than the actual taste. Done and done. Is it one of the better double IPAs or IPAs I've had as of late? No. I mean, it's oxidized. It's not even fair to really judge it in that state, but I have to talk about what's in front of me and the way it sits right here in its oxidative state. It's obviously not one of the better ones I've had. Bag availability, no idea. Keith, let me know. I think it's brewery only. Let me know the price and leave you with if you like what we like this beer. If you like your beers oxidized. I mean, that's not even fair to say. It's not even like a thing. It needs to be re-drank. It needs to be re-reviewed. I will go out of my way. If these guys make this beer again, I will go out of my way to get a freshie, and then maybe I'll hold off this posting this till I do that other one, because it just seems unfair to even talk about it in the state, because that's not what it's meant to be. Now, if there's a date on the can, because there isn't one, right? I don't see any on their cans. Now, if there's a date on the can and this is like 2 weeks old, I'd probably get a little bit more kind of hot and bothered. But I don't know how old it is. Actually, you know what? I shouldn't even go down that road. I was going to be like, he got it from the brewery last week, so if the brewery's still selling it, they're saying it's still worth being bought. I could climb that little tricky mountain there and kind of talk about that, how if a brewery's still selling it, doesn't matter if there's a date on the can. They're saying it's still in tip-top shape. It is what it is. It could be just an off can for all I know. Anyway, so there we go. A little review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive, podcasting stuff. Hopefully you guys enjoying a good beer. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers.